Gamers, what is going on? It has been a while. I've been pretty busy doing nothing, touching grass, riding my bicycle, eating food, yada yada yada. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the new weapon coming to game because I think it looks like a big piece of trash, and I would not recommend this to anyone. I think that there's better weapons out there. I think there's better support weapons out there, and even though this may work on Baizhu, I'm just not so sure I'm sold on it. I think that there are better options available, even 3-star options, and so this one is absolute bait, in my opinion. But before we jump into this, there's something more important that I want to talk about, is this post right here. There's just, I agree. Not only once, 8 seconds later or earlier, there's dedication here. Luna, I hope you get the skin you've been asking for. I pray you do. But let's get back into this catalyst. Now, the Jadefall Splendor is, Baizhu's catalyst. And it just is kind of sus. It has a bunch of HP percentage scaling, which is great because he does provide some shields. He's a bit of a tanky beast that allows you to heal and shield. However, it's very interesting here. For 3 seconds after using an elemental burst or creating a shield, the equipped character will gain this regalia effect, restoring 4.5 energy per 2.5 seconds, and then 0.3% elemental damage based on every 1,000 HP. So if you've got like 40,000 HP, I think that's the math. If you've got 40,000 HP, you will get 12% elemental damage, which isn't a lot. That's actually a pretty low amount of elemental damage to get from a 5-star piece, other than some energy recharge that is only for the equipped character. This thing is not very good in my opinion. I think it's actually kind of a piece of trash. For a 5-star item, I don't think this brings very much to the table at all for your team. And while you can boost up Baizhu's damage a little bit, he's kind of a weird character that sort of impacts some of the reactionary damage that your team will do while healing you and shielding you. And this doesn't seem to boost up any of those. It's like giving Diona extra damage. I'm sure he's going to hit harder than Diona. I get it. But this one just doesn't seem like it really fits for me. I've looked at the leaks. Let's just be honest here. I've looked at the leaks. And while I can't fully commit to talking about them because, things change by the time the character actually fully launches, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at his kit and I'm going, Realistically, if you want some HP scaling and you want a nice attack bonus for your team, you could just use Thrilling Tales. And at the end of the day, it's going to function pretty similar value-wise, if not better. As a 3-star weapon that everyone has access to, why would you ever use your primogems on this? That will work on almost nobody. You have to understand that if a new DPS unit comes out or a different character, sub-DPS, there are going to be better catalysts for them. This is not it. This is very suited for Baizhu. And even for that, it's not very suited. It's terrible. That's all I have to really say. I can't really say much more. Now, the other interesting thing is they did do this bad boy 14 minutes ago, talking about the new artifact sets. And these artifact sets are actually pretty nice. They're interesting to me for sure. I like this one, but I like this one even more. And I would even consider farming it. But let's get started with Vurukasha. Did I say that right? Vurukasha. This one gives you HP percentage, which can be, a nice 2-piece for certain tanky characters or support characters. But the elemental skill and elemental burst damage will be increased by 10% after the equipped character takes damage. Interesting. Now, the aforementioned damage bonus, which is this 10% damage bonus, can be increased by 80%, and it stacks up to 5 times. So what that means is this 10% damage would go up to 18%, but this can stack 5 different times. It's not going to give you, multiplicative scaling or whatever you want to call it. It's going to go 10, 18, 26, it's going to go up and you're going to get 8% each time. Unless something changes in game, I haven't been able to test it, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. Now, people are saying that this is the savior of Dia. because Dia actually takes damage for your other units, even if she's not on field, hypothetically, Dia is just always going to have this uptime if you're taking damage. That being said, you could also technically kind of face tank stuff and just get a huge damage bonus for your elemental skill and elemental burst, and this could be kind of nice. Now, we would need to test it, but if you are shielded and the damage still counts, there could be situations where you just face tank with a Zhongli shield or a Diona shield, chill there for a little bit, and then you unleash your abilities with this big juicy damage bonus. Yes, it could work for Dia. Maybe it makes her usable. Maybe it makes her better. But honestly, this could be an interesting kind of damage booster for a lot of different units, especially if they do have some sort of HP scaling. But without the shields, I'm thinking this thing will be pretty average. That being said, and wait, one more thing. The reason why is, like, if you're forcing yourself to take damage and you're not really engaging and attacking, then also that's just like a time loss and a damage loss, right? So even if you do get damage, if you're just standing there, I'm gonna tank hits, well, you probably just could have cleared the abyss faster by attacking. So anyways, let's move on. Nymph's Dream. This one's actually pretty badass, and honestly, I kind of wish that I had this before I started farming the Blizzard set and the Hydro set for Ayato, but this thing is still probably pretty farmable. This is a really good set. This gives you a 15% Hydro damage bonus, which is nice, but look at this. After normal, charge, plunging, elemental skills, or an elemental burst hit an opponent, you get 1 stack of Mirrored Nymph. So you can use all these different things at the same time or different, but you will get a stack that lasts for 8 seconds. When under the effects, let's just say 3 or more, because you're going to be able to stack it pretty easily, your attack will be increased by 25%, and your Hydro damage is going to get another 15%. That is pretty nutty. This is really nutty. I can think of multiple units. Ayato could benefit from this tremendously, and while I would need to do the math on is 25% attack and 15% Hydro damage more value than doing 30% more damage with normal attacks, I think that even if this isn't best in slot for Ayato, even if this isn't best in slot for anyone, it could be down the road. There may be an awesome support down the road where it is. Now, if I'm looking at someone like Yelan, my issue is she's an off-field DPS, and it may be a little bit harder to trigger these things. You're not going to be normal attacking a bunch because she's going to be in your pocket, and while she will get some stacks while running around with her E, does this work off-field? I don't know if it really says. Sometimes it says it works off-field, sometimes it doesn't say, but it still does. We'd have to test this thing live in-game, but if it works off-field, it does open up some doors. Maybe Yelan can benefit from this, right? Xingqiu could maybe benefit from this, but we have to test that in-game. That being said, I could also see this being fantastic on Child. This may be a boost for Tartaglia, and if you do happen to be farming this, or maybe you're a new player that doesn't have a bunch of artifacts, maybe you picked up Child, Tartaglia, Child, whatever you want to call him. He's got like 5 different names. Ajax, I think, is another one of his names. You could jump into the domain, you could hunt this bad boy down, and I think it's passable. I'm not sure how much resin I would be committing to these domains right now, just based on the characters that I have, and how min-maxed some of my other competing artifacts are, but let me know in the comment section down below if you're going to be grinding this stuff out. If I get Dia and this happens to be meta, well, I'm sure I will, but for right now, I'll be ignoring these bad boys myself. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.